This is Avit, mate. UK rave culture documentary. I'm your guide, Ollie Haile, and I'll be taking you to all the squats, free parties and legal nights. Let's get messy, safe as fuck.
You'd get people coming and hugging you and they'd be sweaty and they'd be saying, Avit, mate, 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 mate. Avit, mate. Avit, mate. Avit, mate. Avit, mate. Avit, mate. Avit, mate.
Anyway, guys, that's it. That's the first time I ever tripped.
My first rave experience was very good. It was a Halloween. My first one was a Halloween rave, and I remember going up in the convoy and being really scared because there was loads of police, and then we thought the police were following us, which they were, down the alley, and we got really scared, but then they backed off. Yeah, then we went there, and there was loads of cars, and we was like, oh no way, yeah, sick.
Alright, now this is where it all started back in 1989. Let's have a look.
1989 is where the culture of raving started off, with the warehouse parties back in 1989, which came about because of young people rebelling due to the recession. The richer were getting richer and the poorer were getting poorer. The younger generation of hedonistic 18 to 29-year-olds, an idea had rose from their minds of the genre of acid house. Tens of thousands of young people started down in ecstasy pills, and at these parties, they had no idea they were about to set off a new culture.
Alright, this is from 1990 to 1995. This is where everything just basically boomed and grew into loads of different genres and everything like that. Let's take a look.
With the new decade, new genres were being listened to, such as jungle, drum and bass, trance and techno. These raves were playing these new genres, but there was still the most popular music of acid house, which was being played at the clubs such as Shrooms or the Hacienda. But with that, conflict with the police began to rise, but this was truly a result of the chemical generation.
A lot of stuff happened in 1996 to 1999 to do with raves, and this is kind of what happened.
In the mid-90s, the government had targeted the rave culture with new laws such as the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act. Section 5 focused heavily on raves. However, this did not stop the ravers. They continued in force, with such party organisers as Brainscan and the Exodus Collective still holding their massive free parties. But on another note, raves had hit the big screen, with such films as Human Traffic and its American counterpart Go. In that respect, raving was here to stay.
Getting stress, making excess mess in darkness. No electricity, something's all over me, greasy insomnia.
I looked into my own local history of raves, and one of the most famous party organisers, the Exodus Collective, was born in my own hometown of Luton. The most famous story of Exodus was on the night of one of their free parties which they'd organised. Police had arrested 13 members without any probable cause, and they planted drugs in their home. The remaining collective members had an idea of their own to keep their party alive, to party around all of Luton's police station, attracting over 3,000 people.
It was amazing, better than I expected it to be when I first thought about going to them. Yeah, I don't know. Because, well, I don't know, you don't feel the pressure, that you don't have to dress up like them, you know, you can just wear whatever your daytime clothes, whatever you like, do what you want, chat to everybody, anybody's up for a conversation, you can dance, the music's pretty bloody good. Yeah, yeah.
Alright, this is 2001 to 2005. This is where things really shook up with the genres, with new things being added every day, subgenres, and literally your mind doesn't even stop. Now let's take a look.
Now, the music which was once demonised is now praised through the charts with artists such as Daft Punk and Mojo. The music is no longer underground, but unfortunately the actual raves are being pushed out of fashion with the new millennium coming into swing. The whole feeling of raves has changed. This was bad news for some, but with all of these new genres there was a new market to appeal to.
What happened was, one time the police came in that, and I was just like, fuck. I didn't swear, like, I just told the 5-0, fuck off and that. Yeah.
What did they do?
Well, they can't really do nothing, because, they can they do anything?
Yeah, it's against the law to swear at a police officer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's because I was with quite a lot of stocky men, so...
Alright, well,
the
that's
police
fair
officer
enough.
was quite... And she was a woman anyway.
Alright, this is 2006, 2010. This is where mainly the drugs changed in the whole rave culture. Like, it kind of went more for a darker downturn from ecstasy, and this is, I'll show you now.
The rave scene has changed into mainly free parties, squat parties and legal nights. The drugs have changed as well, with ecstasy becoming less and less popular because of all the rise of the party drugs such as methadone, ketamine and the 2C family. This also means that police stop and searches were on the rise. There was also new genres coming out such as hard trance, progressive trance, psytrance and dubstep.
I'm positive that the action we took yesterday was fully proportionate and justified, both in terms, as I said yesterday, in terms of the aggression that the officers faced initially, and throughout the event, after continual warnings for them to disperse peacefully, but they refused to do so, and therefore I stand by my decisions yesterday on the proactive stance that we took.
While talking to many different ravers, young and old, they all had different stories where police have committed different acts of brutality towards them. Some stories I've heard have involved the police unlawfully shutting down certain events which didn't even qualify to be a rave, assaulting people, and even leading people the wrong way home. My next interview is with someone who has experienced this firsthand.
From an illegal rave in Norwich.
Yeah, well, I normally sometimes get in trouble with the police because I don't like to really be dictated on how to act by them, because I find normally they don't really know the law as well as they think they do, and they make up law as they go along. And I'm one for freedomism. So like, I've had trouble before where I've been filming the police search my friends for like for evidence if anything happens, like brutality and that. And I actually have the video online, and I'm recording them search my mate. Next thing I know, this policeman comes, grabs me, throws me up against the wall, starts searching me, grips my hands up, put both of my hands behind my back, and then next thing I know, I'm like, what the hell are you doing, mate? Get off me. He was like, you're getting searched. And I was like, why? He was like, oh, because someone over there smells like cannabis. And I was like, what the hell has that got to do with me? Why are you searching me for that? Police are dickheads at the end of the day.
No.
Oh yeah. Well, I got started on by this taxi driver. This taxi driver started a fight with me. And I'm not one to fight, to be honest. And he basically beat the shit out of me. Well, beat me up. And then he took my phone and everything. And then the police come up to me and was like, are you Nick Ingram? I was like, yeah. And there was like, I was like, do you have my phone? Because that taxi driver stole it, basically. And it was like, we want to search you. And I was like, you're not searching me. I haven't done anything wrong. You have no right to search me. You're intruding on my privacy. You know, I don't agree with that. There was like, we're searching you. I was like, you're not searching me. I haven't done anything wrong. There's no reason for you to search me. Next thing I know, these 6 policemen started grabbing me. I started struggling because I didn't want to touch the floor. Like, they threw me to the floor, all just stood on me, just completely ruined me. Like, cut all my face up, scraped all my face, was covered in blood, chucked me in the back of a van for no apparent reason. Didn't read me my rights. And then and then what they did there, I passed out in the back of the van, and then they called my friends up and dropped me off with my friends while I had a mild concussion. At the end of it, I had no paperwork to prove that this had happened, nothing.
Open Gangnam Style.
Alright, this is 2011, 2014. This is where we're at today. And this is kind of my favourite part of it because that's where I got involved. Alright, take a look.
Progressive trance and jump-up drum and bass raves are becoming more and more frequent in areas, but over in the free party scene, squat parties and legal nights, that's where they're most commonly played. The rave culture is nowhere near dead like original ravers say, it's just evolved over the years, changing and meeting the new needs of ravers. For example, Factual sounds and prog box hold event for people with the whole essence of the rave culture being very much alive. Like the system for finding location over the phone via party line. Personally, I look forward to what the future holds. The new genres, new events, and even the petition to legalise free parties and raves and even free festivals. In conclusion, the rave culture has changed dramatically over the years. Personally, I'd think it would be in the good way and in the bad way. I would have loved to have been right in the middle of the second summer of love in 1989, but unfortunately I wasn't. But I'm glad that I've seen and experienced the events that I've been to. I love progressive trance, hard and side trance, electro and even drum and bass. And with that ever only growing in size, the music amount and the rave culture will just throw out new stuff on a daily basis, and I hope it's here to stay and here to stay for good.